Hi again then guys, and so we've got another X-Tunes Ultimate build for you today, and for any who are perhaps new to this series, the purpose of this particular tuning series is that we take a vehicle which has a lot of potential in terms of power, weight and PP and obviously track potential, and we tune it to the max. We take it as far as it can go, make the PP as high as possible, the power as high as possible, and the weight as low as possible, as long as that doesn't counteract the PP, because with some vehicles you can actually increase the PP by adding a little bit of weight, and this is actually one of the cars that happens with. It's the Ferrari Enzo. Now I've gone for racing soft tyres. As far as the suspension, we've got the ride height as low as possible, front and rear. Springs we've increased to 13 and 1750, the dampers to 5, anti-roll we've left at 3, a little bit of camber, 0.5 front and rear, neutral toe. We'll come back to the gearbox last, as I would always recommend doing. As far as the diff, slightly different setup to usual, very high initial torque to prevent the handling from being overly heavy, but at the same time we've got the acceleration and braking as low as possible to prevent the car from running away with itself into oversteer. As far as the power, you want all of the upgrades plus an oil change. I haven't fitted NOS on this one because it's more of a pure track machine. I have fitted the optional rear wing and increased the downforce to 70, but that is of course optional. We've got the full weight loss package, and as you can see we've added 50 kilos, so it's technically not as light as it could be, and this is where you have to make your choice. Because the reason why I've added that 50 kilos is because by adding 50 kilograms of ballast and putting that all the way to the back, you can increase it to 638 pp instead of 637. Now, you have to decide what matters to you, because not many people will have 638 pp. So if all you want is to have the highest pp, I would recommend adding the weight. If, however, you want to have the lightest possible car, at the sake of a slightly lower PP, obviously leave the ballast off. And finally, for the gearbox itself, we've got an auto setting of 249, because this is of course after all more of a circuit machine than a straight line machine. And then for the individual gears, we've got 3.6, 2275, 1625, 1250, 1 and 825 with a final drive of 3.6. So that's it overall for this 638 pp build. Now let's take it out to the track to see what it can do. Now, as I've said before on this channel, I'm far from being the best of drivers. I consider myself to be more of a tuner than a driver. On many occasions people using my tunes turn out to be faster than me, and that feels like it's probably going to be the case with this car, because I can get this particular Enzo at 638 pp around the Nurburgring in just over 6 minutes. Now, for an Enzo at that particular pp level, that's pretty impressive to be capable of that kind of speed. That's a similar kind of lap time that you'd expect from something like the LM Nismo or the Toyota Hybrid. So that's pretty good potential. Obviously this car does have significantly more power than your average car would in the racing category at that pp level, but this is a car I would say more for professional drivers. This is for people who want more of a challenge, who don't necessarily just want to go for the most OP and most obvious car at that level, such as the Toyota TS30. This is for people who want to win the race in something different from the rest of the crowd, something that's more of a challenge, and something which actually has really good all-round circuit potential, because not only is it significantly better around corners than you'd expect a supercar to usually be, albeit still challenging of course, but it has tons of straight line performance. The acceleration is incredibly quick, as you'd expect from a nearly 1000 horsepower Enzo. It looks the part, it sounds the part, it performs the part. So that's it overall for this particular X-Tunes build. It's not a rounded off number like 635 or 640, which is unfortunate. I like to do that when I can. But still, 638 is the highest possible you can get out of this car, as far as I know. And that's it overall for this particular X-Tunes build. So if you are new to the channel and you'd like to keep up with other extreme tunes and various other categories of tune like this, be sure to hit subscribe down below to keep up with those. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.